Good evening, everyone. I'm Marty Braden, and I'm being accountable to myself once again by doing my video journal for Thursday, the 6th of February, day 37 of my journey to alignment. Take a look at my to-do list here that I worked on today. You'll see 6 yellow highlights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pay particular attention to this top one. Record my episode 1 of my podcast. Oh man, as you recall, my power statement for today was I will do my first recording of the podcast I scripted out yesterday, and then I'll search for background music for the podcast lead-in at the beginning of every podcast that I do, as well as at the end of each podcast. Well, listen to this. See if I can start that.
Marty Braden coming to you from Bountiful, Utah. This is my introductory podcast of my Mindset is Everything podcast series I'm launching. This podcast series is an integral piece of my Coaching for Beginner Entrepreneurs coaching system.
Now, listen to this, if I can find it here. Okay. So, I just have to tell you, I think that's so cool. It's done. My recording's done, and now I've got the music that I found. I need to give credit where credit's due, though. My two amigos helped me a lot as they came back with a great suggestion for where I could find free background music. This particular music that I picked, and you just heard after listening to a ton of clips, is only going to cost me $1.25. So that's pretty much free, isn't it? And I won't have to worry about copyright issues at all because I paid to use it legally. It feels so great to have this piece done and through the portal of my mind and is sitting right here and now in the world of the physical. I'm so proud of myself. The 14 pages took a little over 22 minutes to record, and so I was pretty close in my guess. I'm thinking that if I keep them to about 20 to 25 minutes or 14 to 15 pages in written content, that's long enough to flesh out a good principle and not lose my listeners. Anyway, I can now work on finding out how I can add this background music as a beginning to my podcast and at the end. I'll have to have it begin softly and lead in as I start to talk a little bit louder, and I'm talking about and then fade out as I continue on to do the podcast, and then have it fade in and finish up strong as it ends the podcast. I'm so excited. I'm going to be able to have that same little pattern for every podcast going forward. I think the music is upbeat, positive, and actually pretty inviting to the listener. At least I think so. I'm hoping people will like it. Now, I want to show this today list again. If you look at that, the bottom one was find a background music. Done. So all this, bam, done. Now, the last highlighted task, like I said, was the recording that I just played. Now, I've got to figure out how to find the program. You know, I had a program called, and you all know about it, it makes you, my mind just went blank. Oh, yeah, it's called PowerPoint, and you can do and drop a video and add some things, and that can, much easier to program to use. But this is an audio that I'm adding some more music on top of it, overlaying that. So I got to figure out how to do that. So I'm going to go on to Google. I'm going to ask my amigos to help me remember some things. Maybe I've got it saved in my how to do files. Anyway, I'm going to get that figured out. But I just want to know, done. So let's get on with it. Corey asks, get honest with yourself questions. So I'm going to do that now. What didn't you do well today, Marty? Or what could you have done better? Did you wake up early and start strong? Did you start your morning with power? Let me tell you, the win the morning, win the day routine is a step and a process and a routine of pumping and getting power ignited in you, ready to carry you through the day so you can start strong, work strong all day long, and end strong. Were you productive throughout your day? In other words, did you get the most important things done? They're right here in the world of physical. Absolutely did. Did you move your goals forward? Well, that's an obvious answer. Absolutely. Did you show up the person you wanted to be today? Yes. I showed up as a man who was successful, who was accomplishing, and was going to get those 2 tasks done. What about your personal time with Kathleen? Were you present and loving while you were with her? Absolutely. We had some great time tonight before I came up here to do this. I will say this, her birthday's on Saturday the 8th, February 8th. And I'm so excited to look forward to spend some time with her that day. Were you present, loving with her and with everybody else throughout the day? Absolutely. Once again, what was the one thing out of all the things you did today that you can improve on, Marty? In other words, what failure did you have today that you can turn into a tool of success? Well, as I thought about it, I would have to say that there were several places in my podcast recording where I muffed my words up, some of them big time, and didn't record things perfectly. And so I could look at that as my failure for today. However, I got to thinking that my making those flubs or mistakes might actually be better for me to leave them in. And so I did, because it shows vulnerability, transparency, and a willingness to be genuine and not try to pretend that I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. It might even send the message that anyone can do this, which is exactly what I want to say and do. So yes, it certainly wasn't perfect, and so I'm making that my failure, and I turned it into a tool of success by deciding to just go with the flow and leave it in there as it is. And that way it will look natural, even with all my warts and bumps, and hopefully people will recognize the message that they can do it too. You can do it too. Truly you can. The next question is, what was my biggest success today? I think my biggest success today was getting the one thing done that I set out to do, and that was to bring it through the portal of my mind into the world of the physical, and it's sitting right there. That's a big deal. Way to go, Marty. High five. Like I said yesterday, with this first script written and recorded under my belt, I now know what it's going to take to do each of these podcasts that I want to do for my Mindset is Everything podcast series. With the basic format all laid out now, I can really plow through the remaining 19 podcasts that I want to get done and bring each one of these 19 pieces into the world of the physical. Next, the movies that you're supposed to watch during the day. Did you do that this morning? I sure did. I watched my Why movie during my mindfulness time and my reading time. And in addition, my two amigos loaded up my podcast series onto my imaginary coaching website in my mind. I saw people clicking on them and enjoying them. I even imagined people clicking to sign up as a member for my coaching program after watching a few podcasts. And so that really motivated me to get these things done and up and working. I can't wait. The next question is, what's the one thing you did that made you feel successful? Well, looking back on today and remembering the work I did to do the recording, everything leading up to it and typing it out, and then doing that recording, and then all the work I did to research and find a background music file that I knew would be good fit for my podcast series, and then finish all the little details on my to-dos task, really made me feel like I was successful and I was truly accomplishing great things. Next is, what rate did you give your day today? Well, I think it's okay that I gave my day a 10. It was a great day of accomplishment. The next question Corey asks is, if this was the only thing you get done tomorrow, but you'd still feel like a success, what would that one thing be? Once you have the answer, put it into a power statement for tomorrow. Well, here's my power statement for tomorrow. I'll research how to add the background music and end up with a completely finished podcast. My first podcast finished. The first step to success in Mindset is Everything. Man, I'm looking forward to that. I think this task is going to take a while to get done, however. It's a big piece of my overall podcast goal. Getting it through the portal of my mind and into the world of the physical is going to require that I learn something I've never really done before, except, like I said on an earlier video, I think, is that I know how to do the PowerPoint program, and you can plop in a video and insert this and that. But I don't know about an audio and adding another music to the audio and not have to use PowerPoint. Maybe I'll have to use it, but I'm going to search out and find that program. So it's going to take a little while to get that done tomorrow, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to it. Let's end the day strong now. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for all the how-tos and the do-it-yourself videos and all the digital things you could ever need or want are all on the website and at a click of the mouse. That's just a click of mouse away. It's incredible. I'm grateful that I have internet access to all of those things, and that there's a site called YouTube, if you know what I'm talking about, Vern. There's a whole lot of more that I'm grateful for, but my mind is starting to get rummy. I'm rumbling my words together, and so I'm going to close this video entry off for now, but I'll see you tomorrow night. And so until then, I wish you all continued success. Good night.